Me, moo, moo. Ga, 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 me. All right, I'm warmed up. Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever looked at somebody and thought, that should be me by now? Not out of jealousy, not out of a hateful thought, just a quiet frustration that sits with you. A feeling like life skipped your number. Here's a truth that we don't talk about enough. Most of our suffering does not come from what we don't have. It comes from stories that we talk about, what we deserve, and then the comparisons that we make to prove that story is right. Today, I want to talk about why our thought process matters and how obsessing with deserving can quietly poison us emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and how to recognize this pattern and to rewire that thought process. Here's the trap: you work hard, you show up, and you sacrifice. And then your mind says, I deserve more. And listen, that thought by itself isn't wrong. The problem starts when deserving turns into entitlement. Well, I should be getting that by now. I should be doing that. I should. It should be me. And then that entitlement becomes comparison. And during that comparison, you start to measure your worth against somebody else's highlight reel. Then you start to ask yourself unhealthy questions. What's wrong with me? What did they do and I didn't? Why them and not me? And slowly your focus, it shifts from your own path to their timeline. And that's where you begin to lose your peace. Comparison does not motivate you the way you think. At first, it feels like fuel, and then it becomes poison, because comparison does three damaging things. Emotionally, you stop feeling grateful for what is, and you start resenting what isn't. Mentally, your thought loop, you're overthinking, you're replaying, you're judging, narrating a story where you're always behind. And spiritually, you are disconnected. Gratitude keeps you grounded, but comparison pulls you out of the present moment. It's that moment where you stop asking, what am I learning? How am I growing? And it's flipped to, why am I losing right now? Why am I not getting what I deserve? Why am I behind? Why is this person more successful than me? Why this and why that? I don't think life is about beating the person next to you. It's about learning the lessons that were meant for you. If your thought process begins to sound like, I need to beat this person, maybe you have to start asking yourself this question: does this person even know I'm trying to be them? And does this person even know I'm trying to beat them? If the answer is no, you have an unhealthy obsession. Side note, I'm not talking about sports. Obviously, sports is very competitive. You got to do what you got to do to win that goal, that trophy, that statue. That's always a competition. All right, back to our regular scheduled programming. Here's the tricky part with comparing. This pattern, it's not always screaming. It can whisper too. I'm happy for them, but I just thought I'd be further along. Maybe I missed my window. That isn't humility. That is self-comparison disguised in realism. One of the biggest signs that you're stuck in this loop is that you measure your progress by outcome and not growth. You don't ask these questions. Am I stronger? Am I wiser? Am I more disciplined? And you only ask, do I have what they have yet? Which will not bring you peace. Now let's talk about solutions. Real ones. Step 1, catch the thought. The moment you think, I deserve what they have, pause. Don't shame it, just notice it. Awareness is power. Step 2, ask a better question. When we start to think, why don't I have that? Shift that to, what is this moment training me for? What am I learning from this moment? What do I need to do in my path to accomplish that goal? Main character energy, MCE. And that's what you need to focus on. How can I get my MCE to the next level? Step 3, separate worth from timing. You are not late, you are not behind, and you are not broken. You are on a different schedule for a different lesson. And step 4, practice present gratitude. Gratitude does not mean you're settling, you are grounded. You can want more without hating the now. And that balance is emotional maturity. And here's the final truth. The moment that you stop obsessing over what you deserve, you free up that energy to become who you're meant to be. But comparison will always shrink you when your presence can expand you. I think life isn't asking you to race somebody else, it's asking you to be awake in your own lane. Focus on your thoughts, protect your peace, and trust your timing. And remember, what is meant for you won't require you to resent someone else when you receive it. Boom, mic drop.